Convert your desktop SMPS into power supply for different multiple applications. Here is your SMPS, which is converted into power supply of 3.3 volt, 5 volt, 12 volt, and here is in between 2 points, which is variable voltage 0 to 25 volt, along with your voltmeter as well as ammeter, power indicator and power on off switch. Let's describe about the details along with power supply. Desktop power supply. Here is desktop power supply with the internal circuitries of this along with the CPU cooling fan. And here are the power connectors. Here is the power connector for ATX motherboard along with their SATA pin to apply voltage into SATA drives, as well as normally into normal hard drives as well as CD drives. So here we are getting different voltages from this power supply, which yellow wire consists of 12 volt, red wire consists of 5 volt, and here is a ground. Apart from this particular orange wire meant for 3.3 volt and this blue wire meant for minus 12 volt, and this green wire meant for power good signal, and this is our ground. Finally we are getting different voltages. Okay, likewise plus 12 volt, plus 5 volt, ground. Here is your blue one is minus 12 volt, power good signal, again ground. To start this SMPS power supply, we used to short these two wires, power good as well as ground, so this power supply automatically starts. So we can use these two wires as a switch. So we connect these two wires in a switch. Rest is here your yellow wire meant for 12 volt, red wire meant for 5 volt, orange wire meant for 3.3 volt, and blue wire meant for minus 12 volt. So let's begin how to do it. Again, this power switch is meant for power good as well as grounds, both are connected over here. Here is ground terminal, common ground terminal for all, black one. Here is 3 volt, 3.3 volt, ground 3.3 volt. Here is ground 5 volt, here is ground 12 volt or max up to 12.5 volt. So here we selecting the voltage which display on your this particular volt as well as amp meter, and this here is a voltage regulator meant for these 2 points, 0 volt to till 24 volt. In between these 2 points, this is the ground and this is positive one. So in between we are getting 24 volt at max while we vary this. Here is a voltage selector. If we select the voltage, we are getting 3.3, we are getting 5, we are getting 12.5 by varying this, and accordingly ampere selection and voltage selection. When we power up this SMPS along with this particular AC terminal, that means main source, we are getting voltage approx 4 point something volt at green wire, and parallelly we check along with the ground. So if we short these two wires, so automatically the power supply starts. Let's on the power supply first along with the switch. Switch is on, power is get inside the terminal as well as the connector, and if we touch it, power good green one as well as black one. So you see this particular fan, is in rotation, so that means the power supply is started. Clear? Power supply is started. So let's check out what the voltage. So I just putting my red probe as well as black probe. Okay, so we are getting 4.35 volt across green as well as black. So these 2 points are meant for your power switch. So if we short this or connect this, so see that particular motor is started, fan is started. See, this is the fan which is trying to start. So this is meant for switch. And apart from, as I told you, this red wire, we took one red wire, we took one orange wire, we took one yellow wire as well as blue wire. So minus 12 volt, blue one, yellow one plus 12 volt, red one plus 5 volt, and orange one is 3.3 volt. So 3.3 volt minus 12 volt, red one is 5 volt, yellow one is plus 12 volt. Here it is your ready power supply. I switch on the power. So the selection is at 3.3 volt, no load, for which the ampere is 0 and voltage is 3.3 volt. So I have been selected to next step, which is 5.3 or we can say 5.5 volt, and ampere is 0 while there is no load. Here it is 12.5 volt as well as ampere is 0 because of no load. If I check it out, see at the multimeter, check it out, this is 3.3 volt. If I took it into 3.3 volt, I am using multimeter, so this is also roughly 3.3 volt. If I change it to the next one, 5.3, so multimeter also shows approx 5.3. If I change it into another level, so this is 12.5 volt, this is also 12.45, approximately 5 volt. So now I took the variable voltage over here, I just make it 0. This is my black one is ground. See the multimeter, my voltage is now 1.26 volt. My voltage is 1.26 volt. As soon as I vary, so this selection is never work now, neither ampere. See the variation in the voltage. So I am varying very minutely, so voltage goes up. So now this time I can make it 0. So no connections is there in the amp as well as voltmeter. So gradually I am increasing. So you see the variation in the voltages which goes up. So this is 19 plus, if I took it another level, 20.2 at max. This is approx 22.7 or we can say 23 volt. Again on the reverse direction I am rotating this particular. So see the voltage variation. Again it's come down. Again it's come down along with the variable voltage. Yes, the minimum voltage at this junction is 1.1 volt. If I put it into maximum level, so it will be approx 22.8, that means it's 23 volt. The voltage is over here, again I have to check. This is 3.3, 3.2, this is roughly 5.2, this is roughly 12.3. So I have to select 12 point. Here you can see in the amp meter as well. This is how much? 12.5. This 12.3. Again I put over here. If I took it to next level. So this is 5.3, which is 5.2. As I took it to the another level, this is 3.3. So here we are always getting 3.3. Here we are always getting 5 volt. Here we are always getting 12.5 volt. And in between these 2 points, we are always getting a variable voltage, right, from 1.1 to 23 volt. Max is 24 volt. Here we apply plus 12 as well as minus 12, which comprise of 24 volt. Repeating, here I am applying yellow wire, here I am applying blue wire. Yellow wire is plus 12, blue wire is minus 12. So plus 12 and minus 12, in between the gap is 24 volt gap. So the regulation is possible in between these 2 points is 24 volt, but it is now 23 volt. So here I am applying orange wire and black wire. Orange wire made for 3.3 volt, black for the ground. Here I am applying red wire, which is made for 5 volt, and black wire for the ground. Here I am applying yellow wire, which is made for 12 volt. I am applying ground as well. So this is 12 constant, this is 5 volt constant, this is 3 volt or 3.3 volt constant. We can use this particular SMPS as a power supply for our multiple applications, for experimental purpose as well as testing purpose of different electronics applications as well as gadgets. Even if you can use this particular into robotics and altogether purpose for your different applications of voltages. Thank you.